Have you ever found yourself watching a woman you're interested in, replaying every conversation, analyzing every text, trying to crack the code? You ask yourself, is she just being friendly, or is it something more? It's a universal question, and often, the most powerful answers aren't found in grand declarations, but in the quiet, subtle details of human behavior. The language of initial attraction and growing feelings is often whispered, not shouted. It's encoded in micro-gestures, in the timing of a glance, in the subtle shift of energy when you enter a room. Welcome. Today, we're going beyond the obvious. We're not talking about flirty compliments or agreeing to a date. Those are clearer signals. We're diving into the hidden signs, the ones rooted in psychology, subconscious cues, and the often overlooked patterns that reveal her emotional investment is deepening. These are the signs that happen before she's even fully admitted it to herself. So let's begin. Here are 5 hidden signs she's developing feelings for you, and the psychological reasons behind each one. Sign number 1, the proximity pull and the subtle mirror. Let's start with space. Human beings have an invisible bubble of personal space, and who we allow inside it, and how we behave when they're there, speaks volumes. When someone is developing feelings, you will often see a proximity pull. This isn't just about standing near you at a social gathering. It's more nuanced. It's her foot pointing toward you during a group conversation, even if her torso is angled towards someone else. It's the subconscious desire to reduce the physical gap. You might notice she finds reasons to close the distance, leaning in to hear you better, brushing her arm against yours to make a point, or accidentally leaving her phone or glass closer to you than to anyone else. She's creating micro-opportunities for connection. Now, pair this with mirroring. Mirroring is a subconscious behavior where one person subtly imitates the gestures, posture, speech patterns, or even breathing rate of the person they feel connected to or attracted to. It's a profound sign of rapport and alignment. If you take a sip of your drink and she follows a moment later, if you lean back in your chair and she gradually does the same, if you cross your legs and she mirrors the action, pay attention. The psychology here is rooted in our limbic system, the emotional center of the brain. Mirroring creates a feedback loop of familiarity and trust. It's as if her subconscious is saying, "See, we are alike. We are in sync." When you observe consistent proximity seeking coupled with gentle mirroring, you're witnessing the primal, nonverbal dance of building connection. She is, without a word, arranging her physical world to include you. Sign number 2, the investment shift from general to specific. In the early stages of acquaintance, conversations often stay in safe, general territory, work, common friends, surface-level interests. The hidden sign of developing feelings is a distinct shift in her investment, moving from the general to the specifically you. This manifests in 2 key ways: memory and curiosity. First, memory. She remembers the small, seemingly insignificant details you've shared. You mentioned in passing 3 weeks ago that you hate cilantro, and when you're ordering food together, she says, "Oh, that comes with cilantro, right? You don't like that." You told a story about your childhood pet, and she later asks, "What was the name of that dog again? The one who ate your homework?" This isn't just good listening. This is cognitive prioritization. Her brain has tagged information related to you as important, worthy of long-term storage. It signals that you occupy mental real estate. Second, curiosity evolves. The questions change from "What do you do for fun?" to "What made you decide to start that hobby?" From "Do you have siblings?" to "What was it like growing up as the middle child?" She begins to ask questions that probe your motivations, your past experiences, your emotional world. She's not just collecting data. She's trying to map the internal you. Psychologically, this represents an investment of emotional and cognitive resources. Time and mental energy are our most precious currencies. When she spends them on archiving the details of your life and seeking to understand your internal drivers, she is making an investment. And we don't consistently invest in something we plan to walk away from. This shift indicates you are transitioning from a category in her mind, "person I know," to a unique individual she is actively trying to comprehend. Sign number 3, the vulnerability gradient. Perhaps the most significant hidden sign is a gradual, reciprocal increase in vulnerability. True feelings cannot grow in an environment of pure, polished perfection. They need the fertile soil of shared authenticity. This sign is called a gradient because it's slow and careful, like testing the temperature of water. It starts small. She might share a minor embarrassment from her day. I totally spilled coffee on myself before this. Classic me. She's testing the waters. If I show a small flaw, will you judge me? If she feels safe, the vulnerability deepens. She might express a genuine worry about an upcoming presentation, not just as a fact, but with a hint of the emotion behind it. She might share an opinion she's passionate about, gauging your reaction. You might notice her confessing a dream that feels a little silly to say out loud, or a past disappointment that shaped her. The key psychology here is trust building through self-disclosure. The social penetration theory explains that relationships develop through gradual layers of disclosure from superficial to core. When she willingly shares a layer of her inner world, her fears, hopes, insecurities, or passions, she is inviting you in. Crucially, watch for her response after she shares. Does she quickly brush it off, or does she hold your gaze, waiting for your response? The latter shows she deeply cares about your reception of her true self. Furthermore, she will create a space for your vulnerability. She'll listen intently when you share something personal, respond with empathy, and perhaps share a similar experience to make you feel less alone. This reciprocal dance of gentle, increasing openness is one of the strongest hidden architectures upon which deeper feelings are built. Sign number 4, the microreactions, the eyes and the voice. Our conscious mind can craft words, but our subconscious often betrays us through instantaneous, unfiltered reactions. Two of the most reliable channels for these microreactions are the eyes and the voice. Let's talk about the eyes. We all know about prolonged eye contact, but look for the moment of arrival. When you enter a room or a social setting, watch her face in the first second she notices you. Do her eyes light up? Does she have a quick, genuine smile that appears and then maybe settles into a more composed greeting? This flash of recognition is incredibly hard to fake. It's the Duchenne smile, engaging the muscles around the eyes, that signals true positive effect. Also, observe pupil dilation. In controlled lighting, if her pupils dilate when she looks at you or during your conversation, it's a strong subconscious indicator of interest and arousal. The brain, intrigued and attracted, releases a hit of dopamine and norepinephrine, which causes the pupils to widen. She cannot control this. Now, the voice. Listen for subtle changes in her vocal tone when she speaks to you, compared to how she speaks to others. Does it become slightly softer, warmer, or more melodic? Does her speech pace change, maybe slowing down to emphasize a point or speeding up with excitement? Researchers sometimes call this prosodic modulation, and it's a subconscious way of making communication more pleasing and engaging to the desired listener. It's an auditory caress. If you notice a distinct vocal territory she uses only with you, it's because her emotional state is literally changing the physical production of sound. These microreactions bypass the higher cognitive filters. They are the raw, neurological response to your presence. They tell you what's happening in her limbic system before her prefrontal cortex has a chance to editorialize. Sign number 5, the integration test. This is a profound, often overlooked sign that her feelings are moving from interest to envisioning. It's when she begins, subtly, to test or imagine your integration into her wider world and future. This doesn't mean she's planning your wedding. It operates on a much smaller scale. It sounds like, "You would love this restaurant I go to with my friends." The vibe is totally your style. "There's this movie coming out next month that seems like something we'd enjoy. My best friend is so much like you. You two would get along really well." Notice the language. We'd enjoy. Your style. You two would. She is mentally placing you into context beyond your current immediate interaction. She's associating you with her future, even a near one, like next month, and her important people, friends, family by illusion. She might also share something about her upcoming week or a future plan and leave a gentle, open-ended space. It's going to be crazy, but hopefully fun. This is a low-pressure invitation for you to express interest or ask follow-up questions, allowing her to see if you think about her beyond the present moment. Psychologically, this is a function of what's called partner-specific future thinking. When we develop genuine feelings, our brain naturally starts to run simulations. It begins to envision the person in different scenarios of our life. By verbalizing these tiny test balloons, she is doing two things. First, checking your reaction to see if you're on the same page, and second, starting the process of weaving the idea of you into the tapestry of her life. It's a sign of serious consideration. Now, a crucial reminder as we conclude. Human behavior is complex and contextual. No single sign is a definitive guarantee. The true indicator is a pattern. Look for a constellation of these behaviors over time. Is she mirroring and remembering details and sharing vulnerabilities and lighting up when you arrive? That pattern is your most reliable guide. Furthermore, the highest form of understanding these signals is not to manipulate, but to connect. Use this awareness not as a scorecard, but as a lens to see her more clearly. It allows you to recognize when it's safe to be more vulnerable yourself, when to gently reciprocate the energy she's offering. Because at the end of the day, decoding signals isn't about winning a game. It's about recognizing the quiet, often hidden, language of human connection. It's about seeing the gentle reach across the emotional distance so you can choose to meet it halfway. When you understand these hidden signs, you move from confusion to clarity. You can navigate the early stages of potential love not with anxiety, but with informed awareness. You learn to listen not just to her words, but to the symphony of her behavior, a symphony that often reveals the truth of the heart long before the lips are ready to speak. Thank you for listening. If this resonated with you, consider exploring more videos on the channel where we dive deeper into the psychology of relationships, attraction, and understanding. Until next time.